Okay. Okay, guys. This session, it will be about chapter 6.1. I think a lot of people missed this one. That's why. And Hussein requested this, and he's not here yet. He's probably, have some problem with the internet or something. Okay. This unit here is about users and groups. So just a brief introduction about it. We're going to create users, a group of users at once using the file. And the file, it has to be the same format as the password file. So the password file, that's reside under etc and then password. So on the format of that, it has to be the same as those files here. If you can see this one here. So it has to be the username and then the password and then the user ID and the group ID. And here you can put anything, any comment about the user. And to create a home directory for the under the home directory for everyone, that will create a home directory for this user, which is Ali in this case, and then bin bash. So it has to be in this format. And like say in the exam, for example, if you forget how to do this, you can go to etc. Let me just do that here. Here, if you want to use any text editor like LeafPad, etc. password. Someone just joined? Or can you guys put your phone, your microphone in mute? I see that's here. I think that's right. Yasser? Yes, thank you. Here, like say, for example, in the exam, you forgot how to do that. You can go to the password file, and then you can copy one of those. Like say, for example, you copy this one and put it into a new file, and you just need to change the username, and of course you need to put a password here. You also change the user ID and the group ID, and you put here a comma. It depends on the question in the exam, and then home. This one will be also created. You have to change it to match the user ID, the username, and then :/bin bash. So if you copy this one and then you create any folder, any file using touch, and then paste it over there, and then list all the users that they ask you to do. Like say, for example, if you want to do create a file, touch, and then the name of the file, say, for example, users 22. This is the name of the file, .txt. And then again, you use LeafPad to open it, users 22, and then you can paste whatever that you copied from there from the password file. Like say they're asking you to create a group of users. The first username is say CME ADMC, and you just need to give it a password. The second field, for example, 123. User ID 50. Group ID, so also 70, for example. And here you can put any comment that you want, like say a full name. The full name is CME ADMC, and then home. And here this one has to match the user ID, which is CME ADMC. And you carry on with the other users. Say you have 5 or 4 users, and then you just change those ones here. So I will save this one, and then I will create using new users command, and the file name was users22.txt. So, and then I hit enter. Now this user is created, CME ADMC, and then say if you have thousands of users or hundreds of users, it will be created at once. So now from here, there's a one problem using this the users command. So when creating accounts with the user add, some system files are copied from the etc scal to the new users. So, and those ones are the home directories. Like now, if I go to the home directory of the user that I just created, it will be missing stuff from there. The user profile and all those. So let me just go there to the home directory of this user, and then I will list minus a home, and the user that I just created was what? CME ADMC. So you see there, it's only hidden files from there. But if I created a user that I use add user, say CME ADMC 1, then password 123 here, and now I go to the same ls minus a home CME ADMC 1. Now I have those. If you can see, those were missing from here, but now I have those here. So that's why if you're creating a lot of files using the new users command, you have to be aware of those ones. That's why if you remember from the labs, login incorrect, most of you got that. If you remember from lab 6, this is why, and the profile and all those here. But I believe when the user log in the first time, those one will be copied, but not during the creation of the account, because when you create the account using add users and all those will be copied during the creation of the account. So that's that. Here, check that new user will generate this and this file, which is the hash, the SHA-512 encrypted password. That's its reside here on the login devs. You have to make sure that's encrypt method SHA-512 is there and it's not hashed. Not hashed, that means it doesn't have a number sign in front of it. So we can check that from as etc. So we can do leafpad again. etc login.devs, and you go scroll down and down. You'll see it here. This is it. So you have to make sure, I think in Kali is by default is not hashed before this line, right? Because the software, I mean the operating system, is going to ignore all those. Those are just labels or comments, but it's going to take care of this one because it does not have the hash sign in front of it. go out of here. Now move to the next slide. Change. The change is used to modify account and password expiry settings. So if you do change -L, this one will give you all the, like say for example, it's better to use this one. Maybe if they ask you to change the setting, the account setting for the user in one command, only one command. So that's, you have to know those switches, such as, let me just get my highlighter here. Sorry guys, just one second. Okay, here you go. Those switches here, like say capital E, that's the expire date. All the time you can do H for help, I for inactive, L to list, lowercase m for minimum days, and capital M for maximum days. And then you use, usually we only use those ones, but R for the root and W for warn days. The warn days, that the set expiration warning days to warn days, like how many days before it can warn you for before your password getting dead. Do you guys see this here, the calendar? I don't know how to get rid of it. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
I don't know why it came here.
You cannot exit from it.
Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, here you go. Let me do this.
Maybe if you close the shell and open it again.
Ah, it's not the shell. And you don't want to even move anywhere.
Yes.
Okay, here you go.
If you open the shell again, maybe it will come over it.
No, it stopped. It stopped. So okay, here you go. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's the change -L. So when no options are given, change interactive mode and ask the user to change the following setting in order. That will give you exactly like those ones here. when you do only you enter change. There's an echo, guys, coming from some. Okay, thank you. Change and then enter. It will give you all those here, all those options. So it will be like a menu driven. So you do change and then you put the account name, like say change. Say give it. I don't know if I have a user. We just created a user. CME ADMC. So now it's a menu driven, asking you for the minimum password age, say for example 10 or 9, and then use the default for this one, for example, and then the last password change. So you do that, and password expiration date warning. It warns you for how many days before the password get expired, and you answer all those. But for example, if they ask you to do this in one command, like the lab did, so you do the change, the username, and then you do the switches. I mean by switches, those ones here, the letters, all those here. So you want to change the min days, the minimum days, you do -m space, and then you put the number. And then like say 7, you do minus capital M, and then you put the number for the maximum days, and then you put -I and the numbers for that. So that's about the change. Let's move to.
Sir?
Yes.
We do not write change -n, enter, then we put what's going on, or
no, yeah, you keep continuing. Like say change minus minimum minus lowercase m. That's the minimum. Say for example 10, and then minus capital M. That's the maximum. Say 50, and then
but
minus.
Before that, the username, yeah.
Before that, the username, yes.
Okay.
Before that, the username, and then you keep continue. That if they ask you in one line.
Okay.
Right, and that's most likely because that's if you need to use a menu driven and then write that answer in the exams paper. That's like what you need, a half page of that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oops. Okay, that's that. Those are the same one in order. That's we just saw in days, and then the last password change. That's it. Will show that the day that you change the password. Capital W, that the password expiry warning in days. It will warn you. Inactive. This one usually in minus. It shows this password has been inactive for how many days. And capital E, that's the expiration date, of course, is the like a Chinese format, right? Year first, and then month, and then date. Okay, sudo, super user do. Sudo allows regular users to perform selected root user tasks. So that's like administrator in Windows. If you have a user sudo privileges, you can do anything. That's a power. That's the power of administrators. The syntax, you do sudo and then the command, whatever. Like say if you log in, that's why it's recommended to log in as a normal user, and then you can have average administrator privileges if you want to do any special tasks. You do sudo before the command, and then it will ask you for the username. I mean for the password of the user, of that user, not the root user. And of course, you have to be part of the suitors group. To add to add a username or a user to a suitors, you do add user, and then that username space, and then suitors or sudo. Okay, where's the suitors file reside in? Suitor files, it's under etc and then suitors. If you look at this, as we mentioned earlier in class, we said all the configurations for Linux, they are saved in a basic text file. You can open it with any text editors. So if we can open this one, etc suitors, you look at it, it's a very basic file, has nothing much into it. Leadpad etc suitors. You see it has nothing, and all those like just command except those ones, and except the permissions here. This is the permission for the root, because the root is part of the suitors group. Root all equals all. That's the power. It gives full privileges. Okay, so the command groups include all. That's we just saw that all network, software, services, and everything. So that's user the suitor or the root user can do all those tasks. Regular user can be given access to any group of commands. So we just use leafpad to open it, but you can, if you do this only this vi sudo, it will open that text editor. But you know, if you like the vi or the vim, you can do it. So vi sudo, but personally I don't like it. You see, it looks horrible to me. How you exit out of that? Colon. Oops. Just click here. Okay, now shift colon and then quit without saving. Okay. That's the VI editor. Okay, so now we will talk about SUID and SGID. Those are to set user ID and set group ID. Okay, SUID, that's for the users ID, to set this, the S bit. Like in Windows, when you do right click run as administrator. So that means this file or this program is belong to administrator, because administrator, he is the owner of this file or this program. So some files in either Windows or Linux, you need to give other users administrator privileges or administrator permissions in order to run it. Like say this simple one in Windows, the ping command. Ping, you need administrator privileges to run it, but users also, they need it to check connectivities, network connectivities. So they use something in Windows similar to SBIT to give users to access the ping command and to run it just like the administrator, because administrator is the owner of the program. So here, executables usually run with the permission of the user running the program. What if it is better for the program to run with the permissions of the program owner or the group? So it doesn't matter who's running the program. If you set the SBIT, it's going to have the same privileges or the same power as the owner of the program or the file. Is that clear, guys?
Show us, sir.
Okay.
How to do it on the.
Yes, we're coming. I'm just explaining what's the SBIT first, and then I will do it.
No. Only set up user ID and set up group ID. Yeah?
Yes, this is set user ID and set the group ID. I'm just now talking about the set user ID. So set the user ID. if like say, Rashid, you are the owner of a file. So you have a full access to this file. You can delete, you can modify, you can do all the changes. You can run it if it's executable. Yeah. So now in this file or this program, if you set the S bit, the S bit into the permissions, then Yasser can do the same thing that you can do. But before setting this, Yasser can only have read access to it, but it cannot write, cannot execute. If you set the S bit to it, then Yasser will have the same privileges just as the owner of the program and all other users. Did that explain it or?
Again, sir, again.
Okay, here, say, let me just do this. Okay, Hussein, you created this file. So by default, you get read, write, and execute, for example, this file or this program. Rashid will not have all those. Might have only read. This is Rashid, read only. But if Hussein is the owner of this file, if you set the S bit to this here, the S bit to the permissions, now Rashid will have the same permissions as the owner of the program, which is Hussein, or the file. So now Rashid can have read, write, execute, just as the owner of the file or the program. So some files, some programs in Windows and in Linux, if they don't do the S bit here, no one can run it. Even the CMD, you cannot even access CMD. All the users in Windows, they can go to CMD, run CMD, and then they get the DOS, the black window, yeah? That's because they have set the S bit. So all the users can have the privileges of the administrator. Is that okay, Hussein?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was,
Okay, so here, examples. etc shadow file has a permission 640. The password command user bin password uses the SID to allow any user to change his own password. So we know that all the passwords are in this here password. So now if you, Hussein, if you have a user account in Linux, you can change your password. You can go password and then your username, and it will ask you what's the new password and verify the new password. And the password will be changed successfully. That's why, because they have the S bit on there. Otherwise, only administrator can change your password. You call the administrator, say, hey, change my password without this. And user bin password, we can look at it here. ls, say virus L. Password. So you see here, this one, it's already set there. If you remove this one here, all the users, normal users, they cannot change their password because now they are administrating this file here, just add administrator. That's why they can't change their password. Is that okay, guys, so far?
sir, why the user bin password on red?
Oh, because it has this. Because it has a special permission, which is the S, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if we go to ls -l, say etc pass put here. This one doesn't have the S bit, yes? So that's why it's not red. This one is normal. No special permissions there. Okay, go back here. Okay, again, I talked about the ping. Also, the ping is in bin ping. If we go there, we will see the S bit set over there, the set user ID. So just to allow any users to check network connection. All the users. Try it, you try to remove it from there using a root account. Try to remove it from there. From the S, remove it, and then log in as a normal user. See if you can ping. So Bing ping, so ls minus l. Again, you see that's in red again, and you have the S here, just to allow other users to check the network connectivity and all those. To give them a permission, just like administrators. So how you set the S bit? S bit is under the change mode, to change the mode of the permission. Change mode, and then you do U plus S. That's you're changing U plus S. That means you are setting the S user ID for a program. The program, after you do S, will run with the permissions of its user owner, regardless who runs it. And then you see this one here, instead of X, you get S. How do you know that the SUID bit is set? You will never see the X, you will see S instead of the X. So the file that I just created, it was under, if I'm not mistaken, ls let me just create a new one. Already forgot what that is. Touch test 22.txt. This one here, and now if I go ls minus a minus l test 22. So you see here there is no S bit, but I can do that for and change mode U plus S, and then test 22. And then if I go to ls it, I show here. You see that the different again, I was saying about the red and all those. Read write S instead of the X. So now this one has the S bit set on the this file.
On the root, right?
On the root is the owner, yes.
The root is the owner, and the test is
test is the file. This is the file that I just created, and the root is it's the user, that's the owner who created this this file, and the group owner also root.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is the that's the SUID. This one is the UGID bit. The syntax is the same. Change mode instead of U, because U stands for user.
But Mr. Ayman,
yes.
Why would the S not come to the first permission?
What do you mean?
Like in the first, before the R, it come in the first.
Oh, okay, here. Okay. It was here instead of this. Yes, Abdullah?
No, I mean before the R.
Before the R, this R?
Yeah. Why it is not here?
Oh, because you have user, group,
owner,
and other. Mm-hmm. Yes. The first one we say to U plus S.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have user, group, and other. Mm-hmm. Yes. The first one we say to U plus S. And then you have user, group, and other. Mm-hmm. Yes. The first one we say to U plus S. And then you have user, group, and other. Mm-hmm. Yes. The first one we say to U plus So of course it's going to come over the first one, R, WX, this one for the users, for this one. And then this one is a group. Again, you have R, WX, this for this one. So for this one here, we did G plus S. Of course, it's going to happen here, not here. The first one we did U plus X, U plus S, I'm sorry, S, and that's why it came here. You got it, Abdullah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here. Now, when you set the S into the group, the program will now run with the permission of its group owner. The group owner, the permission that the group owner has, all the users under this group owner will have the same permission as the owner of the group permission. Okay, here, let me explain that. Say, for example, this one is a group. And under this group, you have 3 users. Those 3 users, and then you have the G plus S set into this group here. And say the owner of this group has this permission: read, write, and no execute. And then all those users here will have this permission. Just add the group owner, regardless who runs it, user 1 or user 2 or the third user. So that's why the SGID, when you use it, you can also, it can be used to share directories. Because you can create, like say this one is a group for HR or IT. You put all of them in one group and then give only one permissions. Like say in large companies, they might have thousands employees here under HR. I know to set a permission, it might take you only 1 minute, but 1 minute times 1,000, that's 1,000 minutes. But if you group all the people under HR group, and then you said only, it's gonna take you only 1 minute to do this instead of 1,000 minutes. To group people and give a permission, all the people under this group, they're gonna inherit the same permission as the group owner. And this is here how to set the GID, the SID. Okay. Okay, now creating a shared directory. For this one, I will create a directory and the root, and then I will change the user owner or the group owner of the directory. So let's create a directory. mkdir, create directory, and let me call it Friday, for example. So now I have a directory created. If I do ls Friday, ls minus Friday or ls minus l. I see my Friday, where is it? Here it is. Sorry guys, you cannot see that, but it's here. This is Friday. So who's the owner? It's the root. And who's the user owner? It's the root. and the group owner is root. Again, root and root, because we created under root. If this one is, say for example, Muhammad, the user owner will be Muhammad, and the group owner will be also Muhammad. So now we created the directory. The user owner is root, we saw that, and root. The group owner also root. So now let's also, we don't have a training group. Let's create a group, and let's name it something. Group add. Let's call it what? A group. Okay, this group is, let's call it HR, for example. Oops, that exists. HRR. This is a group. So now we need to change, instead of the group owner for Friday, instead of root, we would like it to be HRR. So on the syntax to do that, it's change the ownership, colon. Here we're going to put HRR. And then here it should be Friday, because the Friday is our directory. So change owner, colon, and HRR, and then our Friday. It was Friday. So now if I go back, ls minus L, this is my Friday one. We see that it's changed. I'm still keeping the same user owner, the owner of the directory, but the group owner is changed from root to HRR. So are you guys following up?
Yes.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Please stop me if you have any concern. Okay, give a training a write access. Now we're going to give a training a write access. Change on, that's to change the ownership. Change mode, this is the permission mode. So now we're going to give our HRR a write access. So this one, the first 7 is for the root. For this guy, for the root. We need to give this one also a write access. So it will be also 7, 7, 5, 7. The first 7 is for this guy, and the second 7 for here, and 5 for the others, So 7, that's read-write access. 7 here, read-write access. And we have the 5, which is read, no write, and execute. Read, write, execute. I'm sorry, did I say access? So chain mode. (775) to our directory, which is Friday. Friday directory. So now if I go up and use the same one, look at the changes here, because those are the permissions. So now Friday there. I have read write execute, and then read no write but execute. This is the 5, and this is a 7 full access, and this one is a 7 full permissions. So we had the same thing here. So now we give the group owner read write execute permissions. So now here, this is the problem. If you have this problem, new files created in our Friday, because we're using Friday here, do not have training as a group owner. So let's go under Friday. So say touch, for example, Friday, capital Friday, say test 1.txt, for example. This file will be created under Friday. And now if I go ls -l Friday, oops, capital again, Friday, you see who is the group owner? Root. And who is the user owner? Root. Which is our Friday here has the parent folder. The parent directory has a user as a root and the group owner as HRR. So it's not inherit. It did not inherit the group owner. So to solve this, because you're doing sharing, you're sharing directories. So to solve this, we need to set the SUID bit. Because when you do the SUID bit to turn it on for this directory, it will inherit the permissions from the parent folder. Yes.
Saying SUID, but you just highlighting the SGID.
I'm sorry, SGID. I'm sorry. Yeah, SGID. Because we talked about the SUID. This one is SGID, because we created our Friday directory, and then we need all the users or the subdirectories and the sub files to inherit the same permission as the parent directory. So how we do that? We do the G+S, is that okay, guys, or do I need to draw it?
I mean, sir, you're giving the file which the group owner shared option, yeah?
Yes, it's shared option to get the same permission as the group owner. Like say you have a group. This is a group, HR group.
So without S, it will not inherit.
Without S, if you create any files in here, like say this guy has read, write, execute, the owner of this group, which is in our case, it's HRR. If you create one here, the user, because we are using the root, if you do ls -l on this one here, it will show you the user owner as a root and the user, the group owner also as a root. It will be RR. We don't want to see this, right? We want to see R and HRR. So to get the inherit the permissions from the group owner from the group directory. So here, let me release this. So chmod and then G plus S on Friday, because I want to put it on the shared folder. This is the shared, the one that they're going to share. Enter. Now, if I do this, it should turn to red, our Friday. Where is it here? Okay, here. Now we have the S bit into the group, and into the group. So now if I go inside ls minus L Friday, and I believe that was test. Yeah. So it still got this here, root. But let's create a new file, touch Friday test2.txt, and now list all the minus L Friday there. Now I see this one is changed because this one we created earlier before the S bit, and this one after the S GUID. Now it's got the group owner inherited from the parent directory. Is that okay, guys, or need to say it again?
For me, it's clear.
Guys, the other guys, Hussein, Yasser, Abdullah.
Yes, okay.
It's okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. Yasser?
Keep going.
Okay. Okay, now erase that. So now, using the SG bit, if you set the S bit into group, that will cause a problem. What the problem is, anyone in the training in our Friday group, the shared folder, which is the HRR group, anyone in the HRR group can now delete any files in the Friday. So that means this one is our Friday shared folder, and it's under this group, like say the group HRR. So now any user that's belong to HRR can create files, other people can delete it or modify it. So you don't want people like anonymous, all other people that belong to this group to delete, right? So now other people to delete and execute all other files, even the people that doesn't belong to this group, they can do that. So you don't want them to do this. So what do you do? The solution is the sticky bit. So that's why if you notice here, the sticky bit, you set it into who? Others. That's users. Users don't belong to this group. Users that they don't belong to this group. So this is here. So now if we want to set it into our shared directory, which is Friday, and prevent other people not belong to HRR to delete and all those, you have to set up the sticky bit, which is the T1. So chmod other plus T. When I set it where? Into the Friday. So now if you do ls here, This is our Friday. And now you have two. You have this one here on the group side. This is the S, the sticky bit, the S bit, the SGUID, and the T here is for the sticky because you see this is others. Okay, here again, SUID, you will see it here. If you set it on the users, you will see it on the first three ones instead of the X. This is SUID. SGID, you see it here. This is what we just did. And the sticky bit, T for others. That's why we did here. T, where that is here. Other, U, O plus T, O plus T. That's what we did in there. So the SUID, you'll see it on the first three permissions. Read, write, and instead of the execute, you see S. SGID, excuse me, SGID, you see it here on the group one. And others, which is the others, you want them to prevent them from deleting stuff and to mess up with other people's stuff. You want to prevent them. You set the sticky bit, which is the T on the all permissions here, others. So is that fine, guys? Keep going.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Now the access control list. So now we talked about the SUID and SGID. This S for the user IDs and S for the group IDs and the sticky bit. Now this is access control list. Access control list is to access who will have access to a file, who will have permission to do what in a file or a directory or a program. So in Linux, security model is very restrictive. You have 3 users, only 3 users, and 3 access type, 3 users level, those ones, the users and the group and other. And here 3 access type, you have read, write, and access. Those are those here. Windows is a lot more flexible because you can have special permissions and access. Even in one group, you can have tenth of permissions for different users, even though they are belong to the same group and all those. Access control list permit more users and groups to have access to a directory. So in the SUID and the SGID, those ones only belong to a directory. All the people, group of people, they have the same access, same permission, and all those here. The difference here in access control list, you can group more users from different groups to have access to one file or one directory. That's why they say here, access control list permit more users and groups to have access to a directory. So a group of people, a group of users, a group of groups from other can access one directory. Unlike here, you have a group of people, they are sharing one directory, they have the same access and the same permissions there. So the presence of access control is indicated by the plus sign. The presence of the SUID and SGID is by S. You see S instead of the execute on the user side or on the group side. And the T indicate the presence of the sticky bit. which is preventing others from deleting or messing with other people's stuff. The plus sign, when you see the plus sign, that means there is a access control list set in this directory, and you can see it here. So say for example, give you this here maybe, and someone ask you what's the permission, special permission that has been set into this directory. So you have the S, and you have the T, and you have the plus sign.
Yes.
The plus sign is for the access control list, and the T bit is for the sticky bit to prevent other people from deleting or modifying any files in this directory or this file. And the S bit here, that's the, here is set where, that's the S bit is set on the group. That's the SGID. Let's do this here. So here,
Sir, again, I didn't understand.
okay. Well, the
Yes.
plus sign.
Yes.
Okay. The okay, let me get my pen here. Access control list. So access control list, like say, let me give, I explain it to you like from a network perspective. Like now you're sitting at your house and you want to access, like say hackers.com. It goes to Etisalat, ISV. So hacker.com, of course, is blocked by Etisalat. So Etisalat, they have an access control list here in their main router. They're saying if someone requested hackers.com, block it. This is not only for your house, for all the people in all their customers, all the people in Abu Dhabi, for example, all of them, not only to one house or one user. So that's the same as a control list, access control list in a directory. So if you have a directory or a file of a directory here, you can put access control list, and this one can be applied to so many users. So many users and also so many groups. The difference between SEL and SUID and SGID is in those one, the S bit, that's in one directory. You prevent and you give access to people in one directory. And those people has to be part of a group in case of the SGID. But those ones here, access control list, can control users, different users and different groups. And they indicated, how do you know that the access control list bit is set or is activated in this file or this directory? By the plus sign.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, that's why, and that's why you see, okay, let me ask you this. Where is the SUID bit? Where do you see the SUID?
I see.
You see it here, yes? On the first one, because this one is the user. It will be set here. Instead of the X, you will see S here, yes? This is the SUID.
But now it's in the group.
Exactly, now it's in the group because now this is GID.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
The GID, SGID here is here now in the group. And the T will be set to others, yeah? This G and this others. But look here, the plus is not on the U and it's not in the G and it's not here. That's why it's for all.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. So now, clear that. Now, to view the access control list, if you want to see if there are any access control list in this file or this directory, then you say get facl. Shows the access control list on a directory. This one. The following slide shows examples of ACLs. Okay, now here, get FACL access control list on training documents. So now if I go here, because instead of training document, we have our Friday, yeah? So if I go get FACL Friday, it will give me the same here. But I can look at those all normal, nothing. But I see here, you see the flags? Because we already did the S and we did the T. This one is normal. The group is HRR. We change it from root to HRR, the group owner. And the user owner is still the same, which is root. And those are the files. The user has read, write, access, read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, no, write, execute. Others people, they have this. So now, this is the same output that we just got. Instead of training, we have our HRR. Now, get F access control list in here. Now we see extra information. Now we see group, let's say engineering group, they have read and execute. Management group, they have read and execute. So now from here, you can tell that this one, it has extended access list set up so that it has 2 groups added to the ACL. So now if we have a group, like say for example, HRR, or you need to add a user to access control list, set FACL. To check, to show the access control list, you do get FACL. To configure it or to apply it, you have to do set FACL -m user. This has to be user, just like this, and then the username. Who's the username? Like say CME. Colon, the permission, what type of permission you want to give this one. So you can do like a read, write, no access, no execute, and then the directory. So now let's set, for a group, you do the same. Instead of user, you put a group and then the group name and then the permission and then the directory that you want to give to set the access control list on. In our case, it's Friday. For this PowerPoint, it's a training document, I believe, training docs. So let's set the access control list. So set FACL -m, or all the time you can do -help to see what the switch is for. -m, and then user, or say a group. We have a group. Yeah, we have a group.
Excuse me, Mr. Raymond, just one question.
Yes.
What's the -m for again?
Okay, that's L. Help. That's the M. Modify the current ACL or files. That's the modify, the M for modify. And capital M and all those. So all the time, you know, if you need to get the options, the options for for any dash help, or you can do man set FACL, right? And then it will give you, that's a long one, more explanation here. So you can say that this is a set, and then set the file access control list, and you get all the options if you hit the space bar will give you the next page and the next page, and to quit you need to do Q. Okay, set F SAL minus M, and then group. There's a group. What's the group name? Say HRR, and then permissions. What type of permissions you want to give them? Say read write. That's all. And you put the directory name that you want to set up the access list on.
Is it okay if you put the write before the read as a command? Or
Read write?
Yeah.
Like this?
because normally it's like this.
Is it like this? Yes, I'm sorry. It's like this. Let's try it like that one.
If you use by number,
No, number will not take it. Number will not take it. Read write, no execute, and the directory name, Friday. So now it will take it, but Abdullah, just to prove it to you. So what's the RW, Abdullah?
RW,
Four and?
RW?
Yeah, so you have 4, 2, and 0, yeah?
Yeah,
6.
That's 6, yes, guys?
yeah.
So if you put like 6 or something,
You already gave
Yeah.
the permission of 6.
It give you,
that's 6. So use, yeah,
it's work, yeah?
it works. It works, yeah.
It is better the permission.
It's better here. You just it will ask. You need to know 421, and then you need to add. But it's up to you then to use whatever is easy for you. So RW or so what's 7? That will give them full, yes. Read write execute. So now if you go get FSL Friday. Now you see here, added a group. And the group has this read, write, execute because we just put that. And this is the mask and this is the other people got this. So if you go here, we did not have that. We only had this, the group, RR, and this here, but now we have this. If we go to ls minus L, there, this is the Friday one. Now we have what?
Plus,
The plus. That means we have access control list to this one here. And you can add groups. Like now here, we just added HRR. You can do the same one for Friday. You can add, if you have another groups, you can add them to this one. Let's add a group, another one. Group, add, say, FF, for example. That's it. And here we just go FF. Those guys, let's give them only 6 or only 4. So now if I go up, now there's another FF group added, and they have only 4, which is R. So now I have a directory, and I'm adding other groups, and I can add users also to it from all over, unlike SUID and SGID. So you guys now differentiate between access control list and SUID and SGID.
Almost there.
Almost there. Almost. That's good. Good to hear. That's the S there, and this is the summary of the commands that we just used. So first, I created that file with, it has to be the same format as, this is just a summary, guys, real quick. It has to be the same format as this one here. If I go leave pad, etc password, same one. And I gave you a hint, and I said in the exam, if they ask you to create users, they just give you a list of users, like the lab ones, and you forget how the format of this file, you can copy any line from those ones. Say this is the last one here, and paste it create a file with touch command, paste it there, just modify it and copy it, and like say for example in the exam, I will not give you like 20 users and create them using a users command. No, maybe about 3 or 4 max. So copy this line, modify it for all the 4 users, save it, and just do users and point it to that file, the file name, enter, and then all of those will be created at once, right? And then we talked about what's the difference between using user add and using the users. You create group of users at once. We said the profiles of the users and all those, and the SKEL files some files will not be copied to the user's home directory. There's that. And here, to change account and password aging properties. That's the change. If you do change -L, will give you all the list change. -L will give you all the switches, the E, the I, the L, the M, the capital M, and all those here. And if you do change, and then the username, any username, you just put here the username, and then you hit enter, it will walk you through a menu driven. It will ask you what's the minimum age, what's the maximum, what's the inactivity, what's the expiration date, and all those. So, and again, if you want to do it in one line, you do change. You just use those ones here, because the questions, just like the lab, were asking you for to change the minimum days, and now you go -M, and you put the days, say for example 5, and the maximum, also they will give you a number, minus capital M, and then a number, say for example 50, and you use the other ones, the I and the E, the expiration date for the account. The next one is sudo. That's the suitors, all the people, all the users that's part of this group. Sudo will have the same power as administrator, same power, same privileges. Change group to change the ownership, right? Change mod, we talked also about change mod and change the ownership of that. So here, change mod, everything that's related to permissions, you do mod, change mod, MOD, and then the permissions that you're gonna add, the S for the user ID, and here the S for the GID, and this one for others, the sticky bit, why they use the sticky bit, to prevent other people from messing up with other people files and all that. Get FACL and set FACL access control list. Get to view it, to view the file or directory that has access control list enabled on. and to set it, this one to configure it or to enable it in the file or directory. That's what we went over, and that's end of it. So any questions, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Could you back to change owner slide?
I'm sorry?
Change owner slide. Change
Change
owner
owner.
slide.
Change the owner? Oh,
Yes.
this
Up,
one?
sir.
Up?
Yes. The slide that's I talk about changing owner. Yes, more.
This one. Muhammad,
Yes.
this the one?
Yes. That's
Okay.
I think this one is wrong, but because here, as you see, change owner, I need the backslash, not here in the last of the command.
This one?
Yes, because I did like that, but it did not work with me.
Yeah,
But you put on the last.
no, it's okay to put it here. That's fine. But this one, it depends. Where are you at? If you created this one under root, then you need to put this. If you created under home, look here now, Muhammad. Now, which level am I at? I'm at here.
You are in
The tilde home.
root.
I'm at the home, not the root. Yes. Say now, if I go change on, and then like say HRR, well, and then I Friday. Yes. If I put Friday here, it's not gonna work. You see, I'm just hitting now the tab. But if I delete the slash and then I go Fry, you see it? Because now I'm in the same directory. I'm in the home directory. But if this one's instead of tilde, it's this. Now I need to put the slash here.
Okay.
It depends on here.
Okay.
Like say now, if I go CD here, CD slash, now you see this one?
Yes.
Because now I'm not on the same one. I'm not under my home directory for the root. I'm at the root. So now if I go change on here, say HRR, and then I go Friday, you see now? It's not working. I'm hitting the tab. Right?
Oh.
So now because that was where? So here also is not. That's under where? Home. And then Friday. And that's there. HRR. Home.
No, it's under the root home directory / root.
Under the root. Okay, here. No, it's not.
No, /root /Friday.
Root and then
Home.
home.
No home.
No, root under Friday. Now you need to do that, yeah. Root Friday, under root, because we created under the root home directory. And then under the root home directory, there is Friday directory. So it's basically depends on where are you at to put the slash or not to put the slash. You got it, Mohammed?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Any other? Any other
Thank you,
questions?
sir.
You guys sure? Anyway, it will. I'm recording it. I'm not sure how the recording going, but I will upload it too for the people that missed the session or for people also to go over it again? If I'm not sure if it's is it guys useful?
Yes, it is. For me, I'm talking about myself.
Okay.
Me also.
Okay, that's good. So we can keep doing this, you know, as per your request. If you guys requesting it, we wanted more, we can do more videos.
Like, for example, no need class on Monday.
For what?
No need class Monday.
No, this one is 2 weeks ago class.
You know that?
Yeah. No, we are taking a new lecture, a new chapter on Monday.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I wish you have a good weekend and
Please Friday.
I'm sorry?
Please Friday.
Yes, happy Friday to all of you, and I hope it was informative.
Yeah, it was actually.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
يلا مع السلامة.
Salam.